Welcome back to Prime Arcana. Interlude 2, Part 2, Spine of Silence.
I'm mega stressed.
You are?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Is anybody else mega stressed?
It is what it
Danielle's
is.
I was gonna say, I think Danielle's gonna thrive. I can't. It's too. I can't. It's.
I mean, we're only shaping Skogul as a person.
You're right. Yeah, we are shaping Skogul as a person. This is about the boy, Skogul the tiny.
And, you know, maybe he needs something tragic to happen to him.
Tragedy
Makes for better company.
emotional damage.
Yeah, that would be a good title for tonight's chapter.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna throw up.
Cut to everybody crying and everybody throwing up.
I'm just literally never done anything like this. Like, what's about to happen? I've never played a character engaging in something so horrible.
Violence for violence sake.
New experiences are good for character growth.
Haley is trying to talk herself into this so hard.
You're gonna have to take like 3 showers after this.
I just know I gotta kill a lot of people. Buckle in.
2 centuries ago, a devout group of dwarves, dissatisfied with the fiery rule and strict forge laws of Kivar Keldara, left the mountain peaks for the open plains. Guided by visions from Yela, the serene dwarven goddess of midwinter, these believers established a humble settlement named Kivar Vandral, which means heart of winter in their language. So Kivar in Dwarven means heart of. Instead of the leather hide tents or wood cabins your people build, the dwarves of Kivar Vandral live on a plain littered with immense boulders, which over time and with meticulous craftsmanship they've carved and hollowed out, creating homes suited to their quiet, pious lifestyle. Beneath these homes, tunnels lead to rich emerald deposits. Once a month, a caravan travels nearly 50 miles each way to trade emeralds with the nearby city of Morgethor. In exchange, the village receives vital food, medicine, and tools. At some point, the village was officialized in Torthor's official census register, and a barracks of Minotaurian Reave breakers was built to protect its people from the dangers of the Outer Scourge. Life in Kivar Vandral is serene and deeply spiritual. The locals spend much of their days in prayer and gentle community work, existing as a peaceful sanctuary amidst the harshness in the Scourge Garden. They stick to themselves, and they bother nobody. Yesterday, Skullmother Skalva, Skogul the Small, Siobhan the Brave, Shaela the Devout, Vigala the Fool, and Leif the Grinner left Thursdiv and Nivaldi behind to protect your home from any Wildstone wandering parties who might be searching for the 3 half-breed abominations caught wandering their outskirts a few nights ago stealing. Your warband spent the day trekking through a craggy ravine your aunt calls the Spine of Silence. And today, you ready for your first reave against the dwarves of Kivar Vandral, beneath a sky streaked with veins of aurora red. During the walk, the siblings held up the rear, spending most of the time struggling to keep up with their towering frost giant cousins.
So yeah, maybe crunching over some snow in silence. Skogul kind of taking the back. He just asked Siobhan, he's just like, I mean, are we ever going to talk about it?
What's the point of talking about it? We are what we are, Skogs.
But if we all saw something different, but we were all born of the same mother, what does it mean?
What did you see while you were journeying?
I saw a city torn asunder. I saw her leading it. It confuses me.
Do you think there even are answers?
Of course there's answers. Whether we can understand them yet or not is the issue. Maybe we're not ready.
Do you think the Reave will bring clarity?
I think stepping into the future will bring clarity. We all know how things are now. We kind of know how things were in the past, at least what we've experienced. I mean, the only way that we can figure out if your vision is from the past or from the future is to just step into the future.
I suppose you're right, but I guess it doesn't make it any less unsettling.
I don't think my heart's ever settled.
And Skogul looks towards Shaela. You're being awful quiet today.
The vision just keeps replaying in my head as if I've been seeing it over and over the whole time we've been journeying. I can't imagine something so powerful and so moving wouldn't come to light at some point. I mean, it was real. What we saw was real. What you saw was real. But, I mean, I think Siobhan is right insofar as we can't tell or know when in time it occurred until we make peace with the fact that it was reality and move forward.
I mean, how far until we hit the village?
Probably another couple hours.
And Skogul kind of looks at the sky to see if he can feel something from it.
And Siobhan is
So-
wrestling with the whole, this is our destiny.
Wrestling like she's having trouble feeling like it's her destiny, our destiny.
She believes it only because this is what they've been being told their entire life, but she probably doesn't feel it. And she's not fully rebelling against it, but she's skeptical.
I think Shayla's watching him look to the sky and she's kind of trying to read the expression on his face. Do you think the actions of tomorrow will lead you further towards the path of truth?
Skogul pulls his contemplative eyes down, and then he kind of looks ahead, and he goes, I hope so. Or if not, at least tell me what's true.
Now, Skalva lays on her belly near the top of a hill, staring down at the small folk milling within the village. As the three of you crawl through the snow, let me begin by asking you this. Is her antler crown silhouetted by pale moonlight or the harsh rays of the sun?
Oh, I always pictured it in my head as being at night.
So sleeping children, Steve?
Well, they won't be sleeping when I pump the arrows into them, that's for sure.
Jeez, I'm not ready. I'm okay. It was fun, guys. Here we are. All right, it's nighttime.
Behind you, resting at the bottom of the hill, Vigal and Leif chant softly. Your aunt's followers lay on their backs, staring up into the veil-shimmering sky, with their fingers entwined across their hearts. Once Skalva notices that the three of you have crept up alongside her, it takes her a few moments to speak. This is the place. This is where you tear off the masks that make you weak, where you sever your ties to the small folk blood tainting your purity. This is where the three of you become frost giants.
May we live up
Shayla's
to...
kind of enraptured. She's just staring, listening to all of her words.
And Skogul just goes, maybe we live up to the Bone Mother's expectation.
Skalva dips her fingertips into a pouch, and then pulls them back out smeared with dark crimson paste. She rolls onto her side, and she reaches out and starts drawing ritualistic symbols onto your faces. Weakness was fed into your veins as an unfortunate necessity of birth. Your mother had no choice. She was chosen by fate. But tonight you must each bleed that weakness out. You must purge yourselves of any connection you feel to the lives of the small. You may only be half giants by blood, but your souls know that once magic flows through our hearts again, the world will see how truly giant each of you really are.
Siobhan is she's just kind of got that stoic posture of, I'm going to do it to get through it. And she's also really hung up on Skalva basically saying that half of them sucks. That, they're of dirty blood, like they're tainted. She's wrestling with that. She doesn't feel like she's tainted.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like Skogul might pick up a little bit on that, maybe seeing a little bit of apprehension in Siobhan's face. And he puts a hand on her shoulder and he doesn't say anything, but it's kind of an affirmation that they're not tainted.
She's kind of hugging herself, she's got her hands up on her shoulders to herself, but she's watching this moment pass between the two of them and is trying to steel herself to do what she needs to do to burn the weakness out of her. And she's hoping that the other two are able to do the same.
She's probably got her eyes locked on her aunt. She's definitely too afraid to look at the village.
Yeah, I don't think Skogul's taking his eyes off of the village. He's kind of dreading everything that's about to come.
Shaela is watching Skalva as she talks.
Skogul, down the slope of the hill ahead of you, the village's small stone dwellings are clustered tightly around dirt pathways and beautiful snow-covered elder-gloom pines, able to grow in even the toughest of hard-packed rock and soil. You see a pair of dwarves brushing snow from the curved roof of their boulder home, laughing softly as icy wind whips their beards up into the air. You see thin columns of smoke rising from chimneys, curling up into the open air. Skalva's fingers press against your forehead, Siobhan, leaving a streak of crimson across your brow. You can feel the weight of her breathing as she leans close. Siobhan, so fearless. You are so much like me. Your fire often burns too fast. With this Reave, you must learn to burn slow. Savor their fear, like the old gods did.
I mean, it's gonna be just like killing animals, right? This will be fine. It'll be okay. She nods and leans into her hand as she marks her.
And then, turning to Shaela, she paints twin streaks of blood down your cheeks, like crimson war tears. The scent of her hands is iron, herbs, and smoke. Of all my bone children, you have the spark of frost closest to your mother's. Your mind is quick, but sharpness is nothing unless it's willing to bathe in blood. Panthus will watch you most closely tonight to see if you can be the blade that cuts clean or the blade that snaps.
Shaela looks deep into Skalva's eyes and she says, I will try my hardest, but still I worry I can't live up to Panthus's expectations.
She returns the gaze and says, do not worry. Worrying is what small folk do. Tonight you must take and burn and carve. Make them remember you.
You have provided us with the fortitude that we need to get us through this.
And she takes that in with a smile, believing you. And she finally turns to Skogul and presses her thumb into the center of your forehead, marking out the crimson paste into a jagged rune of war. The coldness of her thumb feels like a white-hot brand, as if the rune is sinking deep into your very soul. My precious, beautiful boy, you're the smallest of our blood. Your father's blood runs quiet and stubborn, warm and weak and soft. too, Elvin, for your own good. Tonight, you will strike the first blow to prove that you are not your father's son, but mine. Do not hold back. Hesitation in battle is the precursor to death, and you must not die today.
I think maybe he's hoping that the visions gave him some kind of control over those actions so that he doesn't feel like he's just something in the wind. Her words definitely empower him. He feels that he needs to prove her wrong. Instead of looking around, instead of trying to find the answer, he just goes, by cracked stone and frozen blood, we Reave.
When she is finished with her painting, Skalva scoots back in the snow to admire her work. In this moment, you're no longer the children she raised, but killers waiting to bloom. In each of your eyes, I see the shape of you. The Scourge will remember this night.
Yeah, I think at that moment, Skogul will clasp both of his sisters, just kind of standing between them, knowing that they're the larger two, in a form of solidarity.
Siobhan gives Skogul's hand a little squeeze as she looks over at Shaela.
Yeah, she's going to return the gesture and nod at both of them. We will succeed.
When the gentle plucking of harp strings from within the barracks grabs your attention, everyone looks down to the village to see a few dwarven children, bundled thick in furs. They're chasing each other through the snowdrifts, laughing. Then you see them turn and run inside when someone's mother calls for them to come eat. Skalva breaks the heavy silence. They are no different than the animals you hunt to sustain us. Merely sheep, unworthy of the destiny carried in our blood.
Yeah, knowing that Skogul was just called out, he is definitely feeling like any kind of emotional upwelling he has, he must crush. He's really trying to see them as Skalva's describing them as animals.
Siobhan looks at this mother and these children running around and can't help but make the parallel between them and like us. And she thinks about how that could have been, how that should have been us. And it's a weird mixture of sadness and anger. And she's got all kinds of turmoil right now.
Shaela is doing her best to just picture them the same way that she pictures the animals that they hunt. And just telling herself, those frost hares had mothers too. It changes nothing.
The breeze picks up briefly, carrying the faint scent of burning pine and cooked meat. Skalva shifts her weight again, pulling a carved bone flask out from her leather satchel. She uncorks it, and each of you smell the pungent aroma of entheogenic mushroom tea spilling out into the air, almost enough to make your vision swim just at the whiff. She tilts the flask back and drinks deeply, and when she finishes, a thin river of dark liquid slips from the corner of her mouth, tracing a dark line down her jaw. She holds the flask out to the three of you. Drink.
Siobhan will take the flask and pretend to drink.
Oh shit! Make a
Manipulation, something like that.
I was thinking it's
slide a
performance.
hand.
I think before slide a hand. Yeah.
Oh god, my stats are dog water, man.
Slide a hand. Performance. I would take.
Deception.
Deception.
All right, let's do performance.
As Siobhan lifts the flask up to her lips and tries to feign drinking it, Skalva reaches out and like tips the back of it into your mouth to like pour like a good chunk of it. It's like a good bit comes in.
Mushroom chunks.
Oh, God, that's exactly how that failure played out in my head too. just so you know that's exactly that's where I knew this was headed.
Okay.
Okay.
Shayla's gonna take it next, and she's gonna take just a regular size. She took she knows now because she had 2 gulps, I think, last time, and she doesn't want it to be that much. So she's going to take a much smaller sip than the last evening that they had this.
And then Skogul takes the flask from her, looks out over the village, and almost like trying to drink down his emotion, he takes a gulp.
Once each of you have drunk from the flask, Skalva pulls out a tightly bound bundle of midnight blue herbs, speckled with pale white little blooms. You all know that this is Veil Shroud, a potent herb that she uses to thin the walls of life and death. She raises the bundle up to her nose and abruptly crushes it in her powerful fist. A fine, ghostly powder sprays up into her face, and Skalva leans forward and inhales. Her eyes flutter briefly, rolling back for a heartbeat, and then she snaps forward with like this dangerous clarity. And she holds the crushed bundle out towards the group of you, the powder sort of still drifting through the air around her hand like a ghostly smoke, and she says, "Breathe."
Siobhan goes first. In her mind, she's like, well, shit, we're all in now. And she takes a big whiff and passes it to Shaela.
Shaela breathes it in. She's not like filling all of her lung space with it, but she takes a decent inhale and then hands it to Skogul.
Skogul proceeds to crush the rest of it and smoke it all up.
He like puts it in a pipe.
In it. He puts it in a pipe.
So he takes like a particularly large dosage then, you would say?
Yeah, I'd say he's just like, let's just get this over with.
Okay. So then to each of you I ask, what is happening to your vision as reality begins to fray at the edges of your awareness?
Yeah, I think as Skogul's looking out over the village, the fires seem to sparkle in a way that sort of draw his attention to them. And then as he's able to focus more on them, he realizes that his vision is as sharp as it's ever been. And he sees little animals darting between the flames and darting between the huts. And he's starting to feel like, oh, wait, this is what I'm meant to feel.
+1 to ranged combat.
Woo!
For Siobhan, I would say figures all start to look the same. Like everything that's moving just kind of looks the same, and she can't really tell a huge difference. Like faces kind of look the same. Like she becomes face blind.
You can use reckless attack without the disadvantages.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good thing we all did drugs.
Yeah. Yay, drugs.
For Shaela, when she took the whiff off of the orb bundle, she was looking up at the red aurora of the sky. And so when she brings her eyes down towards the village, the trails of the aurora kind of shift downward with her. So there are these wisps of red on the edges of her vision moving around in the peripheries. And so she's kind of got tunnel vision because of the lights that she carried down with her.
For this Reave, you have +1 to your damage.
Oh my goodness.
Behind you, Leif and Vigal follow suit, copying the same tea and herbal snap ritual. Skalva gestures at the village below. Skogul, it's time. Choose where the first blow will fall. Once we hear the screams, Vigal and Leif will destroy the guard post and any arrogant little bullmen inside. Once they're done, they'll crack as many of these boulders as they can so there's nowhere to hide. I will retreat to their trade route to make sure nobody tries to flee that way. This passage to the Spine of Silence is your responsibility, children. None must escape Panthus' wrath.
Shayla's first instinct is to given how poorly this went for her the other day, but she wants to improve on herself. Her first instinct is to go to that exit and try to light all the trees on fire.
Yeah, I think as far as attack planning goes, we should definitely take a flanking type position with Siobhan in the front to absorb damage Shaela and Skogul on either side to pick off as they start coming.
Yeah, I think for the first time in their planning, Skogul is like nodding and listening. He's got a little bit of like a wild eye to him right now. If I'm taking the first shot, I should be up front.
I think Shaela and Siobhan kind of exchange a glance at that. It is what Skalva asked for. She kind of shrugs.
Well, take your shot and then fall back. Remember, brother, don't spread yourself too thin.
Skogul looks out over the village, just feeling this sense of confidence that they both aligned with him. I'll stay as high as possible. May your blood run cold. And then he takes off to gain vantage.
Go ahead and move yourself to where you want to be.
Siobhan just gives one last long look into her sister's eyes. You know, as the drugs start to take effect, she's kind of, she has to lean into it. I mean, it's the only way that she's going to get through this.
Okay. So where are the two of you going to position yourselves here?
Well, if our main objective is to make sure that nobody gets out of this area right here, then I definitely think that Siobhan would be here setting herself up in front of the flames. And I think Shaela should probably be somewhere on this side if Skogul's going to stay over to this side.
Is his plan to stay? He's going to stay up there and pick people off from that vantage?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the archer of the group for sure. Like, everyone has a bow, but he's like the best at it. Like, if everyone started wide and then start funneling.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have a bow. She was never as good with the bow as you guys were.
All right, well, I guess we're starting fires then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely Skogul's instinct in this moment is to make a wall of fire so that they don't want to flee towards it. But I think that also might depend on what that first arrow shot actually gets to hit.
That's true, yeah.
You can definitely see this pike guard. Is that pike guard in something that resembles a guard tower?
He's sitting on the roof, yeah, like a little tower on the roof of that boulder.
Great. So Skogul's going to aim for him and his lantern. He's going to try and set that poor guy on fire.
All right, so for a brief heartbeat, Skogul, you raise up your bow and the world around you quiets. You hear only your breath and the distant, gentle harp as the bowstring tightens onto your fingertips. You need a 16 or a higher.
10 plus 1, so 11. He misses.
Okay. The guard hears this like, and he like doesn't see it, but he looks over and he goes, "We're under attack!" and starts just yelling like, "Attack, attack!" So like you guys haven't been seen yet. They don't know that it's giants, but like you start to see people coming out of their homes who can all hear him. They start fucking sort of milling out into the streets, looking out to see what's happening.
Once he sees that his arrow's untrained, he like shakes his head and he applies Hunter's Mark. He's just gonna aim for that same dude again.
Well, that's a hit.
Yeah. I'm just trying to set shit on fire. So if that guard happens to be holding his lantern yelling, he just like sends this right into the lantern.
Okay.
And the guard.
We'll go ahead and roll the damage.
18.
So this pike guard, you miss the first arrow and it zips by his head and he stands up and he starts shouting, "We're under attack, we're under attack." And then Skogul fires his second shot and the arrow just like through the lantern. And the oil and the fire just like leaps across this dude's face, arm, and chest as he drops the lantern onto the ground and just like screams like, "Ah!" and falls onto the ground in front of all of these villagers right here. And they start to rush over and try to like put him out with snow, just throwing piles of snow on him. He's down to 12.
Damn, that guy had some HP, bro.
At Skalva's nod, Vigal and Leif charge down the hill, screaming furious intent, and suddenly the village erupts into terrified chaos. Dwarves spill from their homes, eyes wide, shouting. As she turns to leave her post, Skal shouts over to you, "You must purge yourselves! If I return, and this field is not stained with blood, each of you will be whipped all night long!" And then she turns and just fucking runs down this hillscape to get over here to block the main trade route towards Morgothor. as Leif and Vigal descend upon the Torathorian guard post, and all these other villagers come outside because it's extremely loud at this point.
So it begins.
Children of two worlds, how do you enter this fray to seek your destinies?
Siobhan is just pacing back and forth in between the two mountains, just waiting, trying to psych herself up.
While Shaela is like preparing to try to start lighting the fire, she notices this guy who's a lot closer to her than she realized anyone was. So she's kind of readying to potentially attack before she starts the plan.
Okay, so let me go ahead and roll some perceptions on these guys as they come out of their little boulder homes to see if they notice either of you, because both of you are standing, I presume, out in the open here, looks like. The pike guard does not see Shaela. He rolled an 8.
Oh.
All right, so let's see if the commoner notices Siobhan up there. 12. So this commoner right here notices Siobhan and screams, "Oh my god, they're coming from the back of the village as well! Everyone run!" And then these three all start running this direction away from where you guys are. Let me roll for this pike guard over here to see if he notices anything once those villagers scream, "Oh my god, they're coming up from behind us, everybody run." He needs a 10. He got a 17. I'm going to say that he notices Skogul, but not Siobhan or Shaela because they are both blocked by boulders. And he shouts, "We've got Frosties in the rear! We've got Frosties in the rear!" And he actually charges in this direction. And again, not close enough to initiate combat. All three of you have free actions right now.
Skogul's gonna take care of that yelling guy real quick. +1, 9, he misses.
So Siobhan watches as Skogul shifts his positioning and fires over here into this other direction, alerting you that someone is approaching from over there. And Shaela, they're all actually, I would say, starting to move in this direction because they're just trying to go see what's happening.
If he's moving away, she's going to go back to the original plan of trying to light this tree she's standing next to on fire. So yeah, she's going to have to use her tinderbox. What kind of
That would be a
roll
survival
would that
for
be?
sure.
Okay.
That's a
11?
success.
Yeah, she's watching him. She had her bow to the point where she had pulled it out, but then she sees this pike guard move in the other direction, and she's kind of thinking that no one's really probably going to try to come this direction, but in case they do, she still wants it to be difficult. So she leans down and with the assistance of her aurora vision, she strikes the tinder, and it takes her a couple strikes, but she does it, and then she puts it at the base of the tree, and then she lifts it up to the branches, so it's kind of going up the tree and down the tree.
These are extremely tough and durable trees, so you're going to need to succeed 2 more times to fully light this tree on fire.
Just 2 in a row?
Mm-hmm. So
Survival.
what's everyone? Yeah, so you can do the. Ooh, that's yep. Okay, so I'm gonna have to say this tree right here, it resists. It lights on fire, but it's so heavy with snow already, and resistant to fire damage that it doesn't really do much.
Well, I guess she'll because she can't even see this one over here that saw Skogul. So she's just going to motion like she's trying to get it to work.
She sends her the hand motion to try again and to let her know that she can't see this guy yet, but she knows that something is over here because Skogul fired at it. And she's going to get as close as she can. And now that she can see Dude Man over there, she's going to Hunter's Mark him.
And as she Hunter's Marks Dude Man is going to run the 20 feet forward to engage with melee, sparking initiative, at least between the two of you and Skogul if he would like to be involved.
We'll see how it goes.
Order of initiative is Skogs, Saban, Dwarf, Shaela. All right, Mr. Skogs.
He's starting to see these things as not creatures of this world.
Okay.
He took a big dose of that thing. To him, it's like, wait, the shadow's moving towards my sister. So he's going to longbow this guy because he really can't let him down. He basically made a soul promise. +1, 19.
That is a hit, sir.
Damage 7 plus 1d6. Oh wow, he got 2 nat 6s on those. So yeah, that's 13.
So
cool.
It is Siobhan's turn.
All right. Does that hit?
That does not. You need a 16 or a higher.
Well, she gets kind of caught off guard by the Skogul's arrow. It seems almost as if it comes a little bit too close to her. And so that takes her attention as she goes to strike with this sword that she's not used to.
And like as the arrow hits him in the shoulder, he's like, do what you will. And then like Siobhan like swings her sword and he dodges it and he goes, the dwarf kneels only to the gods.
Dang it.
Damn, dog.
And then he attacks Siobhan with his pike. Leans back.
That's a miss.
That's a miss.
She kind of ducked out of the way as she was swinging her sword, trying to avoid her brother's arrow. And I think that probably threw him off kilter too. It just all kind of happened all at once. She just wasn't where he was expecting her to be anymore.
Shaela, it is your turn.
Well, nothing really happened, I don't think, to like really get her attention. So I think what she's gonna do is, seeing that she's having a really hard time trying to get this crap lit on fire.
Shaela spends the whole Reave trying to light one tree on fire.
That's why I'm like, no.
Isn't that what happened what happened with the bunnies, right?
It is. So she's like giving up. I think she still probably wants to try to light things on fire. I was gonna ask, is it a thing to try to light an arrow on fire?
Absolutely.
Okay. So she's gonna move because she saw this guy run off. So she's gonna move a little bit, and then I want to try to light an arrow on fire and shoot this guard over here.
So here's my question: do you have anything that you could light your arrow on fire with?
I've got the tinderbox, and she's got a hempen rope. So I was wondering if she could cut off a piece of the rope, tie it to the arrowhead, and then shoot it.
Go ahead and give me a survival roll. I'm gonna give you a low difficulty and see if we can do this here.
Oh my goodness.
Your tinderbox, the rope that you've got here, the hemp, is like just really rigid and cold because it's like in your pocket, so you're having a hard time like lighting this hemp.
She's the soul of a pyromaniac, and she lives in the fucking frozen wasteland. Is it too late to just try to shoot this guy then?
It's not too late. No, it's not too late.
Okay. She's gonna try to. She's like, fuck! And she throws the freaking piece of hemp that she cut off of this rope that she has, because she's just trying to prove herself, and everything is burning in her vision anyways. So she pulls out her longbow, and just in like a fury, because she feels like they've already engaged and she needs to get involved. She's
I'm being left behind
with her longbow. Oh my god. Shaela!
That's a miss.
I don't know what to do. So nobody saw that she missed, and she's gonna try to start moving.
Actually, hold on. You shot it at that pike guard. Let me see if
you saw it.
If you hit that villager behind him.
Oh no.
Ooh.
That villager has a 10 armor class. So please roll your damage, not on the pike guard, but on that villager.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So, 6 plus 1.
Haley, please
7.
describe how you missed the pike guard but killed that villager.
No!
Haley's the first one.
First blood.
First blood, Haley.
Bullshit! Fuck! Okay, we're in it. I don't give a shit. So she pulls her bow out, and she can't see, right? Like, she's got these like crazy red like wisps in her vision. So I think for a second it's kind of like she thinks it's double vision, but really it's the pike guard and the villager behind him. And so she's like taking a gamble on like which double vision she's seeing. and it just happens to be she accidentally shoots wide, and it arcs back down and spears the villager.
And this villager behind him goes, "Father, no!" And then the pike guard sees this, and both of them turn to charge at Shaela. It is now Skogul's turn.
Yeah, Skogul feeling some kind of way about this shadow that's closest to him, seeing that his sister's engaged with it. Yeah, I guess he jumps down into this area here. Okay. He's got 35 speed.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and state it now. Since I don't have to take the downfalls of reckless attack, I'm always attacking with reckless attack.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and flip myself over to advantage for my attack.
Do it.
So I don't fuck it up again.
Do it.
22.
Does
that hit?
Massive hit, yes.
Okay.
Please describe how Siobhan kills this pike guard.
Oh, okay. As they're in this weird kind of matrixy style series of misses, she notices another arrow sail past the pike guard, and she gets back on her balance and shoves her sword like sideways into his side.
Beautiful. Now please roll that extra damage and we'll carry it over for your next attack.
All right. So that was the 2 from the Hunter's Mark.
It would have been that pike guard's turn, so I'm going to go ahead and say that these dwarves over here are going to move forward. Pike guard is going to close the ground up to Shaela. Let me check to see if the villager can reach. I'm not positive that they can. I think they have a 25. Oh, they have a 30. Okay, so then we are going to move Bro to this spot. And the pike guard is going to attack because he was able to reach you before his movement ran out. And he just like stabs his pike up towards your belly. That's going to be a 14.
My armor class is 15.
That is a miss.
I think he kind of gave himself away by announcing like, "Rah!" And so she just ducks, like catches maybe some of this, what are the words? The things that she has got in her hair. Maybe it like catches like a bead, but it misses her. First thing is she's going to whip her dagger out and try to engage him with that. But it looks like she's got to move forward a little bit.
Yeah, pikes are long. He can attack from a distance.
Yeah, so she takes a step forward and pulls her dagger out and tries to slash at him. 15.
That is a miss. You needed a 16.
Okay, yeah, no, I think I'm done with my turn. And if she moves, she gets an attack of opportunity. So she's just going to prepare herself for his next attack.
So, Skogul, it is your turn.
Okay, so now seeing that his other sister's involved with something, he's going to move himself up yonder, and he's going to, try and loose into this pike guard right there. And he's going to transfer his Hunter's Mark to it.
Okay. That is a hit.
Right, 19 damage. Oh, wow. He's only rolled 6s on these. This is shocking. So that's 11.
He is still up. Okay, Siobhan, it is your turn.
Well, something broke inside of her when she killed that pike guard.
Oh, God.
So she's going to go into a rage, which will drop her Hunter's Mark, and she's going to come and slaughter some villagers. Let's go ahead and start with this guy.
And as you run up in that direction, that is a mother. And she says, "Please, my little girl, she's only 3. Don't make her watch this. Let us run, and I swear you'll never see our faces again."
All of the rage and anger that she was like, this is perfect, that she was feeling earlier when she was watching the mom and her children just comes out, and she fucking slaughters this woman.
Please describe how she slaughters this woman.
She cuts her down and just continues stabbing her. Like she takes like 2 more stabs into her lifeless body.
It is the dwarf's turn. So the pike guard is going to attack Shaela with a disadvantage on his pike because he's too close now. Hitting with a 10. Does that hit?
No.
So this villager who has tears running down his face, and he says, "You killed my father! He was a good man! He was a good man!" He slashes out with a club, swinging it at your kneecap. rolled a 9, so it's a miss. It is now Shayla's turn.
We're gonna go ahead and do Hunter's Mark on this pike guard standing directly in front of Shaela, and she's gonna try to stab him again. And she got a 14 again.
That would be a miss because he has a 16 armor class. The kid's screaming at her and attacking her with the club's like, "We've harmed no one! Is your hatred so cruel that you'd spill innocent blood?" And he just like swings the club again.
So I think that is what causes her to miss the second time. She's like really kind of caught off guard and she stumbles back, not leaving the area. I don't want to attack the tree. But she like stumbles back and then kind of moves forward to try to stab him. But she's got her eyes on the villager when she's trying to attack the pike guard.
And I would say at this point it's Skogul's turn.
Yeah, I think seeing that this pike guard's offering some nonsense, is he holding a lantern? Or did he drop that to fight? Or did he never have one?
He never had one. That guy was on duty. This guy ran out of a house.
Okay, yeah, I'll just shoot him then. And loosing, 11, he misses. Yeah, I think Skogul's gonna come down a little bit and maybe hop down on this rock at that tree that Shaela was trying to light on fire. And that'll be his turn.
That means that it is now Siobhan's turn.
Okay. Execute Order 66.
Oh my god.
She's gonna kill the youngling.
Well, that baby had a 3 armor class, so that is very much a success, and I will not require you to roll damage.
I did it anyway.
So, please describe how Siobhan kills this infant, who, after seeing you slaughter her mother, is just like kind of standing there like, ha, ha, ha. Her father's like, no, no!
100% not Siobhan anymore. I mean, the effects of the mushrooms are in full swing. She's in full face blindness mode, you know, very similar to what Skogul is experiencing. And then she's going to move up to position herself to take care of the rest.
And with that, it is the dwarf's turn, so he is going to attack you. What have you done? What have you done? And he swings his club at you.
Oh, that hits.
Hitting with a 17. That's going to be 2 damage. And then we have these 2 dwarves over here that Shaela is currently fighting. The younger dwarf is going to, for the 3rd time now, swing his club at you. Missing with a 9, while the pike guard is going to, again with disadvantage, attack you, missing with a 9. And it's now Shayla's turn.
She sees that Skogul keeps trying to shoot the pike guard, but he's still up, so she's gonna try to stab him again. God damn it, this fucking goddamn dagger is cursed. Yeah, she misses, and it's because this stupid villager who's trying to get her with his club. So the next time around, I don't think she's going to be aiming at this pike guard. So that's it. She tries to stab him again, and then she's going to reconsider her position the next turn.
Skogul, it's your turn.
I mean, he's the only one who's done damage on that pike guard, right?
Yes, he has 2 arrows in him. He's had better days.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's important that we try and take him out. So, yeah, Skogul's going to loose another arrow into him.
Oh my gosh. That's a 25. That's a hit.
Okay. So that's
13.
13.
He had 6. So please describe how Skogul kills this pike guard.
Once he hops down onto that rock, he's just like, what is it, my distance? These shadows are. And then he just like pulls the arrow again just to like test his new distance. And when he releases it, it looks like it pierces the dwarf straight to the ground. And he just hears it. And he's like, oh, okay, maybe that's it. I think now that Skogul's feeling better about this distance, he's going to, he's fighting his instincts to move into the fray, knowing that he needs to pick things off. So I think he'll move over. Wait, can I get to the top of this tree?
So those trees are 5, 10, 15, like 16 feet tall, and you are 8 feet tall. So they're not huge. Like, they're not big trees. Like, they're big trees for the dwarves.
Like, I couldn't even hide in it.
But you could stand behind them.
Knowing that he's going to move back to his spot at the top of the peak over here. And he wants to make sure he can pick off things if things go sideways.
Okay, it is Siobhan's turn.
All right. Goodbye, Daddy. Does 14 do it?
A 14 does do it. As you see this pike guard running up on you like, Don't do it! Taylor, look out! And please describe how Taylor takes the sword. He was looking at his dead child as you, like, rushed up on him, like, screaming at you.
She'd probably just stick it in his gut.
And, like, lift him up off the ground.
Yeah.
He's just like, you Fidelia!
All right, and this pike guard.
He is going to attack. And his commoner is also going to attack. So the commoner comes in with a 4 with his club, missing. While the pike guard is going to be back on disadvantage because you rushed up to meet him. And that is going to be him striking out at you, hitting with a 17 to damage with 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And everyone please roll a perception for me. Skogul and Siobhan are aware of the fact that this whole time there's just been these like smash. Like you've been hearing Leif and Vigal just like tear this building apart. And at some point these 3 Reave breakers have come out and they're basically engaging the giants, and one of them like raises up his axe and like shouts at the dwarves nearby, and he's like, "Stand fast, wolves! Follow our lead!" And another one is like, "Get to the caves! Barricade the doors! We will hold the lines!" And then another one like shouts up at Vigal, and he's like, "Your cruelty will not kill our resolve, beast!" And then they all like leap into battle. Let me roll initiative for the 2 of them. The giants go second, so the Reave breakers are going to attack. 2 of them are going to attack Leif. 1 of them is going to attack Vigal. So boom, boom, both on Leif. They needed a 15 to hit, so that is a hit and a miss. 5. Then the second one missed, so the third is going to attack Vigal. Another miss. Vigal is then going to swing his hand down. He's got this big chunk of rock that he's like ripped off of the Minotaurian little barracks there, and he just tries to like crush the Minotaur with it as he swings it down on him. Needing a 17 to hit, he hits with a 25. Let's roll that damage. Okay, that's 27 damage. The Reave breaker has 27 hit points. Vigal just brings the fucking piece of rock down and just absolutely like caves the Minotaur's head into his chest and crumples his body down into the snow like just a powder. Like just pink red snow just up into the air. And then we're going to go ahead and see what Leif does as he swings his axe down on another one. That's a 32. That's very much a hit. Let's go ahead and see that damage. That's going to be 16. So he heavily damages this Reave breaker, but does not kill him. So they are going to return the favor to attack Leif, and one of them screams out. He like sees his brother. He sees the guy that gets smashed with the rock. And he's just like, "No!" And he like aims his weapon up at Vigal, and he goes, "I will make these terrors pay in blood for your loss." And then he goes to attack him. With a 7, that's a miss. So then the other one is going to strike out at Leif. With an 11, that's also a miss. It is now the giant's turn. Leif is going to swing back around with the same thing, battle axe, to try to slice this guy in half. Ooh, that's a natural 1. So, the Reave breaker watches as the axe comes down, wedges itself into the ground and into a rock. He leaps up onto the massive hilt of the axe, runs up his arm, leaps into the air to try to stab his pole arm into Leif's face with his free. That's an 11, that's a miss. Leif swings back out of the way, knocking the Reave breaker to the side, just tumbling over here into the snow. As Vigal swings his boulder down on this second Reave breaker. That's a miss. So, as this fight is continuing on down here, and other villagers charge towards Skalva, let me check in on these pike guards as they attack her. First, seeing in this initiative who goes first. 16 for the dwarves, And for Skalva, a 1. Wow. Okay, so the dwarves come up to attack her. They're pikes, because these are both pike guards. That's going to be a 10 and a 6, both missing her. As she steps back, she holds up this staff, this like long, it was a tree trunk at one point, but it's been whittled and carved down to this thin, pointy, jagged staff. And like all along the top of the staff, it's just been like whittled and sharpened into points that she has wrapped metal and coins and like gilded gold and like things from previous Reaves like melted down and gilded these like points onto her staff. So it's this like trident basically. And she steps forward towards the dwarf. Oh my god, natural 20. Alright, so that's going to be 10 damage. Alright, so double damage for that dwarf. He takes 10. Then the second one is going to come back with a 19, striking her with his pike. 5 damage to Skalva. Alright, so these 3 combats are happening simultaneously. As we pop back to Skogs, it's your turn.
Okay, so it looks like a few more people rushed up onto Shaela over here, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'd like to move my hunter's mark towards what looks like the pike guard captain, knowing that Shaela can probably clean up what's in front of her. He sees the captain coming up, and he's just like, oh, that shadow's pretty big. He moves his hunter's mark to it and looses his bow yet again. 13 plus 1, 14. Misses, I think.
So yeah, you need an 18 to hit this guy.
Oh, wow, this guy.
He watches the arrow like fly over his head. He looks up. Let me see if he can perceive you up on that hill. That is going to be a 9. He does not see you. Somehow you are blended in.
Yeah, I think once he's probably charging towards Shaela and can't really tell the trajectory of the arrow, but he felt it. So he looks to the night sky. He's just like, oh, shit.
Again, you got a 13 and you were firing at that guard captain and that villager was behind him. He needed a 10 to hit that guy. You got a 13. The arrow hit him. Please roll damage.
Oh, sure. Happy to. That's an 8.
But you only needed 4. So he is now dead.
Yeah, another one of those situations where he was aiming. The shadow seemed to like move right in time. And like Skogul just hears a from behind it. And he's just like, oh, I guess there were 2.
There's so many people that like people are getting caught with strays. That being said, it is now Siobhan's turn.
All right. She's going to pick off this villager first.
Okay, well, you struck him. Please go ahead and roll damage.
Yep.
As he runs up to you, please describe how he dies.
She probably didn't even mean to kill him, as she pulled her sword out of the other dwarf and she pivoted to meet the pike guard and she was bringing it around and he just kind of got in the way.
And it is now the dwarves' turn. So the villager is going to strike out at Shaela. We're going to work our way around. That is going to be a 16. That's a hit. So he brings his club in, just smashes down on your foot, doing 2 damage.
Okay.
As the pike guard captain is going to take this advantage to do a multi-attack on you. The captain bellows an order. Steel your hearts! If we die with our boots in the snow and our spears to their throats, we die a good day. And then each person in 10 feet of him on his side becomes immune to the charmed and frightened conditions for 1 minute. In addition, the captain grants one such creature the bring it down reaction for 1 minute, allowing the target to make an opportunity attack if a pike guard or captain deals damage to a creature in the target's reach. The captain can share bring it down with only 1 creature at a time. Okay, so he's going to now make 2 pike strikes attack at Shaela. And if he hits either time, this villager also gets a free attack on you.
Excellent.
15.
That hits.
And the second one was a 12. So it's 15 and 12.
Oh,
and
that doesn't help.
15. 7 piercing damage as the villager takes his free second attack at your other foot. Missing with a 13. Shaela
Okay.
just took 9 damage, everybody.
Picking up the pike would be a whole action, right?
I had assumed you had already picked it up back when we talked about it.
If that's the case, then she's gonna take the pike. And I think the guard captain is far enough away for her to try to get him with the pike. So she's gonna try to stab out at him in response to him getting her pretty good. Oh my God.
That is a miss. You needed an 18.
She can't disengage, right? Because that's a full action.
You'd have to do it next turn, yeah.
I guess she'll drop Hunter's Mark and go into a rage. Seeing that this freaking young man is like berating her for killing his father, Skogul's trying to help. He's taking people out around her, but she just can't seem to get a freaking hit in. So she is kind of taking all of that like fury at not having, I mean, I know it's only been like a minute, but like she's like trying so desperately to prove herself, and she's relying so heavily on Skogul right now without her even having to ask, that he's just kind of stepped up and settled this. She doesn't even know where Siobhan is. She has no idea what's going on the other side of that big building. So she's going to give out like a big scream and just fly into a rage. That's her turn.
With that being her turn, it is now Skogul's turn.
Damn, that pike guard having an 18 armor class is
He's the captain.
freaking me out.
He
But
the
let's go ahead
captain.
He's not focusing on his villagers. Interesting. Yeah, I guess Skogul is thinking, I would like to know which of the villagers in this range might be carrying or near some fire.
Okay, please roll a perception for me.
All right. Nope.
None of them.
All right,
No, seriously. There is this person here in the back. She is carrying a staff, and at the end of the staff, there is a like glowing green emerald that is casting the light for them. These people
cool.
don't use. It's the same as the dwarves that you guys met in Frostfaire. They have these like glowing rocks. They're not like rocking around on kerosene. as
Okay.
much.
Yeah, all right, never mind. We're gonna fire at the guard one more time and see how this goes. Man, another miss.
Okay.
This is rough.
Yes. Flies over your head. Shayla, you hear Skogul is just bombing arrows into these people trying to keep you safe.
He's gonna come back down to this rock, since that seemed to help last time. And that's his move.
That means it is now Siobhan's turn.
All right, so the next logical strike would be on the pike guard,
Mm-hmm.
the 19.
That is very much a hit. Ooh, okay.
Let's throw one of these frost chills on it for an additional 1d6.
Okay.
So it's 5 more damage, so 20 damage altogether. But he's still up.
He is still up. So these guys are going to rush up on you.
There's too many dead people on the field.
There's your pile of dead bodies. One guard attacking, a second guard attacking. One was a hit, one was a miss. So either
Yeah,
way.
the 16 hits.
Okay, so the one that hits, he's the one that rushes up and he's like, abomination! And he slashes forward doing 3 damage. And then the villager is going to try to bring his club up to strike you in your face when you kind of lean forward a little bit from that attack. And he swings it up at you with a 12, missing. Now we have this group of dwarves. Let's see how far they can get. Skogul sees this large group of dwarves rushing over to where Shaela is as this villager swings his club back again at Shaela, shouting, "You killed my father! I'll kill you!" Brings it down because you have been bloodied yourself and you're starting to look a little bit panicked and angry, and his club gets a 9, missing, as the pike guard captain is going to pike attack, getting a 22, which is a hit, doing
Ooh.
7
Wait,
damage.
is it piercing?
7 damage
Okay, yeah.
because you are enraged. And
Okay,
it is
this is
now Shayla's turn.
She's got 5 hit points left.
Disengage. Disengage.
Yeah, she's going to kind of panicking, like you said, looking around. She's seeing all of these villagers. Part of her desperately wants to take fucking one arrow shot before she gets taken out. Knowing that Skogul is like using his arrows to try to pick people off, she's gonna go like in this direction to try to open that up a little bit for him.
Oh shit. Okay.
So she's taken off over this direction.
Awesome.
Get them as they follow me. And she runs.
And now it's Skogul's turn as he sees Shaela sprint off towards the hill that he was recently crouching on, like taking shots from.
He's proud that she's not sticking to it. He tries for this captain again, knowing that when he's a little lower, maybe things go a little bit better. All right.
That is very much a hit with a 19.
Hell yeah, dude. And then finally, we're going to hit him with a D6. So that's 14. And let me see.
Use your
Frost chill. Yeah, frost chill
Hell
works.
yeah. Do it.
So that's 3,
17
4,
damage.
17. Yep. Cool. Yeah, I think once he saw his sister run off a little bit bloodied and he's drawn to her shout, he's like, oh, God damn it. And he just shoots at its back.
As that happens, he's like, "Ugh, you want a piece of me, boy? And he just like starts charging towards you instead of following after Shaela as the rest of this crowd chases after her.
Skogul with his movement will go back up into the hill he started on. He's just like, well, try and catch me.
Beautiful. It is Siobhan's turn.
All right, so she's going to try and finish off this pike guard down here.
Wow.
The 19.
That is very much a hit.
7.
Okay, he is still up, but heavily wounded.
She's going to spend her next frost chill, and we're going to see if we can get this guy dead.
I would love to see that.
Just
You needed
off.
you needed 3. Please describe how Siobhan kills this pike guard.
She is so lost from being herself, and she is fully channeling the frost giant ancestry she has, and it's literally cold blood running through her veins as she's slaughtering.
And as that happens, it is the dwarf's turn. So 25. All right, so he is going to position himself up against this house, basically. Like, he's rushing towards Skogul, but he's not going to rush just fully blind out in the open. He's using the area around him as cover. So you watch him shout that, you rush off up on the hill, get to the hill, you turn around and look back, and you see him just kind of like duck around behind this house. As that happens, let me get these villagers' movements up here to see how they can catch up to Shaela, because she's literally about to get swarmed by like a whole bunch of people here. He makes it up to melee range. He catches her, and then so these guys can go 30, so they get up to here. Okay. And as this guy gets up here, he's gonna split off and head over to help the guard captain. That being said, we've got a couple more that are going to attack on Siobhan. We got this first pike guard up here on top. That second guard is also close enough that he is going to reach you. So the first one is going to be a miss. The second one is going to be also a miss with an 8. So these dwarves are definitely stressed and terrified. You know what? Let me go ahead and see if they are frightened here, because there is literally a pile of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dwarven bodies. That's going to be a wisdom save.
I feel like at this point, Siobhan would also be covered in dwarven blood.
Oh, 100%. So
Oh, hell yeah.
they do bypass the check, though. So, all right, so he attacks with a club, missing, and then the 2 pike guards attack you, missing and missing. So the villager up by Shaela is going to attack, hitting with a 17.
Yeah, she's.
Bro, what the hell?
Yeah, she might straight up die right now. No.
Okay, that's gonna be
she's
1
not down yet.
damage. So Because the giants have been smashing these Reave breakers so much, one of these squires is booking it up into the village to come to try to help as the rest continue fighting. So we've got all this going on. It is now Shayla's turn.
I just don't see anything that she can do aside from try to stab this fucking dude. But he's close enough that the pike wouldn't work, right? So it would be the dagger.
Well, because she's raging, that gives you advantage on attacks. So that would essentially cancel out the disadvantage and just make it a normal roll.
Okay.
That guy, has he taken any damage?
No.
I mean, you really got to be careful to manage your hit points here.
So the options are try to hit him or run or cure wounds on herself, I guess.
Yeah, because if you can't kill him in this one go and you try and run away, that gives him an attack of opportunity on you. But if you disengage and run away, you could gain more distance, so there's a lot of...
He caught right up to her, though. So, if she runs, are we not going to be the exact same position as...
No,
what can he do? 30?
Frost giants are not hampered by the snow terrain.
The verticality.
He is. So if you can get up that hill with no problem, he would have his speed halved the moment he reaches the hill.
Well, it's just risk all around, right? Because if you disengage, that's the only chance that you're going to get away scot-free. If you attack him now and kill him, then yeah, you could freaking go wherever you want. But these guys have how much hit points? 10?
4.
Oh. I mean, there's a good chance you could kill this guy, but again...
Well, the attack has to land.
She's only hit one fucking person all night.
Listen, if it were me, I would disengage and run.
All right.
He just yells to Shaela, use the height. It's to your advantage.
Okay. She's going to go up to the right.
What's the range on your longbow?
150 to 600.
Okay.
Disadvantage at 151 to 600.
So you could go left and still be able to reach these villagers. Just
basically everyone.
Yeah.
She's going to disengage and run up here. And then, she's going to turn back and look down the mountain.
It is Skogul's turn.
Okay, he's glad to see his sister safe. He can actually see Siobhan now and is like, oh, damn. Like everything's covered in blood around her. So the shadows, I guess they bleed. And then he looks at the guard captain again. He doesn't even say anything to it because he's not sure it's actually talking to him. And since Hunter's mark is still engaged on him anyway, he's just going to go ahead and shoot that guy.
The guard captain who's behind the rock?
Yeah, is he actually within... I mean, I can see him, right?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no. You cannot see him.
Okay, so can I see this guy?
I would say that you could see the guy down where Siobhan is because of the distance.
I'll aim for that guy. I will move my Hunter's mark to him and shoot. 25 plus 1.
That's a hit.
7 plus 1d6. So we have 11.
Okay. So that guy right there had not been wounded yet. The guy below had. So then that puts him at 19.
And then Skogul will just move just a tiny bit higher. Dink. And that's his turn.
Siobhan, it is your turn.
I think she's still going to try and hit this guy to the south of her, but she's definitely going to let out a war cry of camaraderie, knowing that Gogol's at her back again.
Oh, that is very much a hit. Please describe how Siobhan kills this pike guard.
She lets out her war cry. She's got, both her fists in the air, and then she just fucking slices his head off.
And the other people around her are just like, oh!
Seeing that, there's nobody else in the immediate vicinity, she's going to move backwards. So she's just going to take one step back to still stay within the villager's striking distance. So she doesn't pull that opportunity attack. And yeah, that's it.
Perfect. And as you take that step back, you see one of the Minotaur squires rushing over to this area because this is where there's been sounds of combat. But he didn't see any giants, and now as he comes around this house and this tree and sees you, he shouts, "Fight with me! We must give the rest time to escape!" And he locks on you with his horns. You're about to get him. And at that, Let me roll the Reave Breaker's initiative here to see if we can get him on the list. Oh, he's number 1. Alright, so he starts the rounds off now instead of Skogul. It is the dwarves' turn. So, these guys are going to... These are villagers. So, a lot of these guys are going to, now that Shaela has, moved away, try to rush over towards this area to flee because there's an opening. The only one who doesn't is going to be Cleric of Midwinter is going to come around this house. These 2 huge thick braids coming down the sides of her head, laying down her shoulders and across her chest. She's wearing this white robed gown that is just covered in this crisscrossing web of dark blue snowflakes. And she's got this tiara sitting on her head, which is this beautiful silver that wraps around her forehead up into this point that has this green encrusted snowflake that just spreads up above her head. And she's got her glowing staff, and she just starts coming towards you. And the Pike Guard captain is got his 25 feet. He's going to try to rush up to both try and put himself in a position where he can fight Skogul and protect his fleeing villagers. A lot of these villagers down here, seeing now that the opposite direction is basically blocked by giants, are also going to start moving in this direction as well. As these guys are going to come around this way, these guys are going to come down in. The Cleric of Midwinter is going to join the Reave Breaker Squire as these guys move around this way, and this group starts pushing back as well. This sort of exodus of dwarves rushing in the opposite direction from Skalva and Leif as the Reave Breaker Minotaurs are beginning to die and flee and move, as this other group also starts trying to rush in that direction as well, except that this Pike Guard comes down here to join with the others as this group also starts rushing back up. And Skalva has killed these 2 Pike Guards already. This Reave Breaker Squire has been killed. These villagers have been killed. And the giants are starting to move in and destroy houses, to start ripping things up out of the ground to see if they can break these boulders and throw them into the crowds of the fleeing dwarves, terrifying them even further as they push them further and further into the shredding maw of the 3 of you. As it is now Shayla's turn.
Shaela is completely caught off guard because, in addition to just how the cleric looks in general, the drugs and the berries and everything is making her look even more radiant, and she's glowing. And Shaela is, for the very first time, experiencing a sense of doubt in whether those that she's worshiping are actually even looking out for her, because clearly this woman is imbued with the magic of her goddess, or her god is how she's seeing this. And I'm gonna say that the plan right now is she's taken aback, but she's going to use this next turn as a sign of whether Panthus is actually with her or not. She's going to take out her longbow and she's going to try to hit the Cleric of Midwinter, and if she misses, she might be fleeing. Legit fucking fleeing. I don't know. She's really hurt. She's having a bad time. She has not felt her god with her at all tonight, so she's gonna aim and she's gonna try to hit her with her longbow.
Shaela.
Okay.
The snow swirls around your feet as you take aim at this Cleric of Midwinter. You see her coming forward with this glowing, pulsing light, and above you, the red of the Shiver Veil pulses and there's a wave like across the sky. And for the first time in your life, you see that the Shiver Veil has turned black and silvery, like metal. Please roll your crit damage for me. Or, before you do that, you can choose to either roll your crit damage or go into a frenzy.
Well,
You were like, I'm directly talking to my god. Panthus, are you with me? First natural 20 of the night.
Yeah, I think Panthus is in the building.
Yes.
I can feel Panthus in this Chili's tonight.
feeling this Chili's.
Panthus is in this Chili's. That was the most like direct thing where like the game just spoke back to us. Like, yes, I'm obviously here.
So how does the frenzy work? I roll until
It would just be a regular, yeah, you roll until you fail.
Okay.
Just so you know, her armor class is, before you make this decision, 18.
Do all of the
I
hits have to be directed toward the cleric as she goes
No.
into the frenzy?
It doesn't have to be the same person.
Okay, so yes, I want to hit the cleric, and then I want to try to hit some of the villagers that are
Okay,
fleeing.
so first roll your normal damage. So
5.
5. So she's down
Plus-
from 104 to 99.
Then can I add the frost chill to
Yes,
that one?
You can.
So that's a d6.
Okay, so 97.
Okay, so that's not very much.
And then now you just roll another normal attack.
17
That's
on
That's a hit.
this one,
Okay, so roll damage. Dead.
and then 24
That's a hit.
on this one. 8
Dead.
and 7. She misses.
Okay, so she
Or,
got
yeah.
2 down.
She is thinking and feeling that, okay, so she hit the cleric out of just sheer support from her god, and now she is feeling bolstered and enlivened. And even if she goes down swinging, she's going to take as many of them out in his honor as she can. So she hit the cleric, didn't slow her down much. So then she switches her viewpoint to the fleeing villagers and shoots 1, 2, and then just sails a little high over this third one. She's going to, she's going to keep backing up, but she's not fleeing. She's going to keep going, but she's just trying to get distance from this woman who's coming at her.
And your arrow can
it's her
still
turn.
hit everything in that field of view. Everything.
And excellent. And she looks up to the sky and sends up a silent prayer to Panthus saying, "Thank you for showing yourself."
And the second you say that, there's this like storm cloud above that's like
Oh, can that storm cloud like hit that Minotaur Squire?
what happens when you talk to a god that you fucking worship.
That was a perfect moment. The game said, yes.
I've been here the whole time.
The whole
Damn
time.
right.
This Reavebreaker Squire, when he gets up to where Siobhan is, he looks out at all of the other dwarves that are sort of like rushing around, looking for like a place to go, trying to decide if they should rush inside of their homes or try and flee. He shouts out, I swore to protect you all! I will fight to my last breath! And then he looks at the nearby pike guards and he's like, help me! Help me teach the giants to fear my horns. And then he charges in with a horn jab at Siobhan. With a 7. That's a fucking miss. Meaning that it is now Skogul's turn.
Yeah, so Skogul sees his pike guard coming at him, and he's weird why the shadow is so spicy, and he sees these cute little other shadows behind him, and they seem to be less spicy but more squishy. So he's going to pop a hunter's mark over on the first villager there and loose an arrow. 23.
That is very much a hit.
Just gonna roll some damage on you, buddy. 12.
Please describe how Skogul kills this villager out front.
He's thinking that the bigger shadows are there to protect the little shadows, but he just realized that if there are no little shadows to protect, the big ones don't have anything to do. And he's thinking maybe those shadows will just stop fighting then. And he looses his arrow. It sails through the air, and he sees it like glint in the shiver veil right before it like plops right through this guy's chest.
With that, it is now Siobhan's turn.
She's gonna hit that pike guard and see if she can get rid of him.
Very much a hit with a 19.
Wow.
He is almost dead. I mean, you have brought this dude. He is bloodied. He is heavily wounded. I mean, like, on death's door. You see him not flee or try to, like, disengage or anything, but, like, stumble back a couple paces.
She just wants to put a little bit more distance. She wants to make him work for it, right? It's a dance.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just going to come up on the back side of this pike guard.
That pike guard is going to disengage and run up here, trying to flee as he is heavily wounded. And this villager is going to rush off into this crowd, urging them to move away from you and try to move around you to move up this way. As this guy heads that way, these guys come up this way. The pike guard is going to move up here. The cleric of midwinter, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Cleric of midwinter gets up here next to the pike guard. And a bunch of these guys all start running into their homes because these boulders are just being like fucking smashing. So they're like running down into their homes to try to like get protected. So this pike guard is gonna rush over to try to get into the fray. All these guys are gonna rush into their homes. This whole massive sort of exodus of guys. So all these people are gonna move 30 feet. Then the cleric of midwinter, you watch as she's walking towards you and she reaches into the folds of her robe and pulls out a flask. And she lifts it up to her lips and she drinks it, making her immune to being frightened for 1 minute. And she's going to gain 2d6 temporary hit points to add on to what she has. 11. These guys are going to try and flee, so they are going to rush up to where the guard captain is. The guard captain has 25 feet movement. He is trying to rush up on Skogul to make himself a target. So he's going to get right up to here. And I believe that is all the dwarven movement that I can do in this move. So I'm going to hand it over to Shaela.
She's using, probably something from her herbalism kit. So she's got like weeds and is able to kind of make up a quick little poultice and then put it. I guess she's been clubbed and stabbed. So probably the bigger piercing pike wounds.
Okay.
She's trying to kind of pack to stop the bleeding and give herself a little bit of a boost.
All right, roll that 2d8.
Take the bump of coke.
Yeah. You're not fighting in snow, you're fighting in cocaine. Wow.
One.
And you take 7 hit points back from this wound, taking you up to 11.
Haha, she's going to cast Hunter's Mark on the cleric. And then she's going to back up further into the hills this way. And
Okay.
that's her turn.
It is now the Minotaur Reave Breaker who's going to step forward and attack Siobhan. In so doing, he is going to use his training polearm. With a 1. Ma'am, you have a free attack.
She's too busy trying to dodge.
Yep. So she dodges and then swings at him, but he dodges it as well. And that is all he can do. So we're going to go ahead and pump back over to Big Boy Skoguls.
Yeah, Skogul's weirded out that this little shadow is trying to come after him. I mean, he just does his thing. He goes to yonder, and he realizes there's a couple other squishy looking shadows behind the big spicy shadow. And he pops a hunter's mark on the first one and looses an arrow. 13.
That is a miss. The arrow flies back. It zips past the head of that villager. Foof! So then that means it is now Siobhan's turn.
All right. I guess she's gonna step into the Reave Squire. She's going to start trying to get him. 18.
That's a hit.
Hell yeah. 16.
Okay.
All of the damage again.
So it is the dwarves' turn. This pike guard is going to rush forward towards Skalva, not seeing that Vigal was behind the trees. The two giants are just gonna stop him, and they are going to move forward. Leif is gonna move forward. All these dwarves are gonna move their 30 feet. All these guys are trying to flee. They're gonna get up to here. This pike guard's gonna run by, and the captain's like, "We've got one of them up here in the hills, boy, help me out." And he's like, "I'm almost dying, I'm bleeding. And he just runs right past the guard captain. The guard captain's like, "You coward. And then these other dwarves are all gonna rush up this way. They're trying to make an exodus out of here. The pike guard is going to move up and put himself in front of Siobhan, and he is going to attack with his pike. Hold on. Yep, at disadvantage. 13, that's a miss. The cleric of Midwinter here, directly facing you, is going to also attack with her divine strike as she holds this stone mallet up above her head, and she says, "Shaela, guide my kill." And she swings it down onto Siobhan, trying to break her hip, hitting with a 24, doing 2 bludgeoning and 6 divine, so that's gonna be 8 damage to Siobhan. Just hitting you in the side. And this cleric of Midwinter, she starts running up this hill. She pulls her own club out, but you see that once she reaches the hill, she starts to slow down. These 2 villagers have not yet moved. Okay, so this guy, first villager to make it out. He sprints off into the emerald mines. This villager makes it up to there. And the guard captain now has 15 movement, so he makes it there. And that is all of the dwarves, which means it is Shayla's turn.
I think that Shaela is going to, because she's got Hunter's Mark on the cleric, she's going to try to hit her. I know it's going to be hard, but she's going to try to hit her with her longbow. She's going to pray. She's going to pray. She's going to take a deep breath. And she misses.
That is a miss.
Okay. So then, with that in mind, yeah, she's doing it. She's gonna try to come circle back around to the bottom to where she knows the other members of her family are. That's it. That's her turn.
That then leads up to the Reave Minotaur. He shouts at the dwarves that are running past, and he's like, "Get to the caves! Barricade the doors!" And he just swings his training pole arm again at Siobhan. Missing with an 11. It is now Skogul's turn.
So this guy's movement is slowed by half now, right?
Yes, he can only move 15.
All right, and alright, so Skogul's just gonna, out of precaution, move his guaranteed 35 to yonder. All right, so the pike guard seems to be wounded. That shadow seems to be sluggish, so he's gonna go ahead and try and finish that guy off. Hunter's Mark, and then longbow, 14.
That is very much a hit. He only had 1 hit point, so please go ahead and describe how this arrow kills this guy.
That guy just kind of crumples in his spot. Like after saying, "We gotta run, I'm hurt," he just kind of crumples.
And it is now Siobhan's turn.
All right, she's gonna take another swing at the Reave Squire. 13 doesn't do it.
It does not, no.
It's the hard part about barbarians. They don't get a whole lot of bonus action.
Right. Well, the dwarves will take their turns then. This whole group here is again going to attempt to flee out the back. Let's see how far this leader can get. Okay, so this is to 35. There's a big group getting ready to swell out of there. Cleric of Midwinter sees that Shaela is fleeing and understands that she is not intending to engage in melee, so she is going to go try to help her people. So she's going to head back that way, which then means that this pike guard is going to attack Siobhan, hitting with a 19, doing 6 damage.
She is down. She's got all of her attention focused on this Reavebreaker Squire in front of her, that she didn't even take notice of the pike guard behind her, and it just sticks her right in the kidney.
Okay. And please go ahead and roll your first death save as you drop down to your knees and scream out in pain.
Okay.
Skogul and Shaela, both of you hear your sister scream out in agony, not a war cry. You've been hearing her shouting all night, but this was not a war cry. This was a death wail. And Leif is close enough to see this as well, and he shouts, "Skalva! One of them is down!" And she says, "Kill them! Kill them all!" As Leif rushes over to join this area, and Skalva and Vigal also rush over to this area. And Leif gets up, and you see as you drop down to your knees, he goes, "Don't worry, little shard. I'll take care of them." And he swings his weapon down onto the Minotaur. That's a 31. That's a hit. He did 15 damage, so she hears the roaring of giants shouting as there's thundering footsteps, and then she just watches as this huge cleaver just swings through the body of this Minotaur, splitting him completely in half, and sees that Leif the Grinner is standing there over his body, smiling down at you. It is now the Cleric of Midwinter's turn. She sees that you are down, and she shouts at the pike guard, "She's almost dead! Finish it!" And then she tries to divine strike with a 9, missing you. So she swings, and you're like wounded enough that you stumble forward into the snow, and she just whiffs right above the top of your head. Foof! Skogul, you see this happen. Shaela, it's your turn.
Shaela, having heard what just happened, she's filled with like a higher sense of urgency in accomplishing what they came here to accomplish. So she's gonna move just a little bit forward and take aim at this villager right here to stop him from running.
That is a hit. Please roll damage.
13.
Yeah, please
6.
describe how you kill that villager.
So she kind of just like hears it, steels herself, kneels down, and just silently knocks her arrow, and it goes sailing through his back, and he falls. And then she's going to kind of move just like a little bit further down.
And is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Then Skogul, we come back to you.
Yeah, Skogul, having witnessed Siobhan fall, he's feeling some kind of way because she's like the only one that's guaranteed not to go down. And he's starting to doubt what they're here to do because he feels like, you know, they're frost giants. This is their divine Reave. This should be something that's going well. And he's realizing it may actually not be going that well. So Skogul, he's kind of like gritting his teeth a bit, and he's like, I think this is a mistake. This is a mess. But he feels himself resolved to keeping his mission of trying to not let people through the gap. And he's gonna pick a row of villagers, or like try and aim at a group of villagers and see what he can do. I'll aim at this villager with Hunter's Mark from my vantage. 13 plus 1.
That is a hit.
All right, damage 6.
Please describe how you kill this villager.
So he hears his sister go down, and he just like almost instinctively just like lets an arrow fly in a result to it, almost like he couldn't control letting his finger off of it. But he realizes that this isn't going well. And yeah, I think he's going to start making a movement towards, no, he needs to stay here. So yeah, he's going to hunker down.
So we're going to go ahead and pop over to the dwarves now. There's a guy here, and he flees off. So that guy makes it. That guy makes it. These guys make it. Okay. All right. We are about to have just like a stampede. And then this rest of the group, I'm going to move as a group. Like, please don't kill her. Okay, so that's where everybody is there. The guard captain is going to keep pressing Skogs so he can get there. I'm going to go ahead and have the Pike Guard and the Cleric of Midwinter both roll for Frightened because they have now been descended on by these giants. And that would make pretty much anyone fucking shit their pants. So the Pike Guard absolutely fails. He sees that like everyone's fleeing, so he's going to do the same. Now this Cleric of Midwinter is also going to have to roll her Frightened. Yeah, she's not frightened. She's not scared. She sees these giants coming up, and she is going to turn to Vigal and use a multi-attack, 2 Divine Strikes. Bing, bang. They are both misses, which means that this Cleric of Midwinter is going to get up to here. And Leif is going to drop down on one knee and he says, "Don't worry, little shard. We have something just for this situation. Head back." And then he just like reaches out and pours his flask all the way down your throat. That is a 5, so that is a failure. Skalva pushes him out of the way and she's like, "What are you doing? Get out of my way." And pushes him. And she kneels in front of you and she says, "What did I tell you when we first started this Reave?"
Siobhan is just coughing up blood.
"Too hot, as always, Siobhan." That's a 17. That's a success. You are at 1 hit point. She snatches the flask out of Leif's hand, grabs you by your hair, yanks your hair back hard, and pours the rest of the flask down your throat, and your eyes explode into color. If Skogul sees these dwarves as shadow, you see everything as shades of light. You can almost see their veins and their hearts pumping in their chests as the colors of the veil shard above descend down around you and infuse themselves into everything pulsing. As you stand up into an automatic rage at 12 hit points.
Nice.
It is now Skogul's turn.
Oh man, Skogul's feeling happy to see her stand. Skogul like almost got like a pat on the back from that, like, cause yeah, he remembers his mission, even though it's quickly failing. What I want to do is I want to light this a cable on fire. I want to light this woven rope I have on fire, and I want to try and shoot it across the gap where all these villagers are. So yeah, what would I do to try and achieve something like that?
That would be a survival with disadvantage, because something like that would essentially take like more than 6 to 8 seconds. I mean, that's like a 30 to 35 second minimum situation here. So to get
Okay, so maybe I'm just trying to light it on fire for this turn.
Oh yeah, it's just a simple survival then.
All right, buddy, come on. 12?
You see the end of the rope just like burst into flames.
Ooh, and Skogul, just seeing the flame start trickling down trickling down the rope, he's like, I guess the gods are with me. Once he lights the flame on fire, knowing that he needs to kind of save it for his next turn, he kind of hunkers down and watches the captain and then starts swinging the rope in the air to make sure that the fire doesn't crawl too quickly.
So it's just like...
Right, yeah, exactly. You got it.
Okay.
That's me.
It's nighttime, so like that just looks sick as shit, because like it's nighttime and you're on like a snowy hill, so you're just like lighting the white snow up with orange. It's whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
Siobhan, this cleric is standing in the center of you, your clearly disappointed aunt, and Leif and Vigal, who have come to your aid to save you as you lost yourself into the flames of your heart.
Her instinct is to take it out on the cleric. So Skalva is all like, fucking remember your mission. She's surrounded by giants on all sides. Like, obviously they can handle a cleric,
yeah.
Right? Her job was to make sure that these villagers don't escape. So she's frustrated by all of this. So she's going to go up to this Pike Guard. since he's trying to flee.
And as you turn to run off in this rage, you hear the 3 giants all just like smash this cleric behind you, stomping and hitting her with a boulder, just crumbling her down into like the gravel sidewalk that you were standing on.
Yeah, that 19 hits.
That is very much a hit on the pike guard, who was already damaged, by the way. Okay, so that's going to be 8 damage. He has 3 hit points left.
Ugh.
The dwarves. So this whole group make it out. Gone. The Cleric of Midwinter gets to here. The Pike Guard Captain gets to here as he's charging forward towards Skogul with like this crazed maniacal look in his eye. He's been hunting you for like the last couple minutes and you just keep bouncing around and now you're taunting him with this fucking spinning fire rope. And it is now Shayla's turn.
Shaela is going to move towards this base right here, and she's going to try to hit the straggler with her longbow.
That is a hit. Please roll your damage.
9.
Please describe what this villager is doing as he dies.
He's just he's just huffing and puffing and running, and his little legs aren't carrying him fast enough. And he trips in the snow, and that's when she gets him.
That's really sad.
I know. I had to.
And that means it is now Skogul's turn.
Okay. So he'll loose this bow with the burning rope at the guard captain. He's gonna move Hunter's Mark to him, and let's see how this goes. Oh, so I guess it sails past him.
Yeah. Then that means that you've got this flaming rope.
Wait a minute.
That flies over here and just kind of like lands over here in the snow somewhere.
Dude. Okay. And now with his movement, he's going to rake the side of the mountain and walk down towards this way. Because now the rope is stuck in something, right? I mean, the arrow's stuck somewhere.
It is stuck in the ground. So you're going to like try to knock him over, like knock him prone?
Yeah, just knock the captain down, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to roll his dexterity to see if he falls or not, because that is awesome. You roll his strength versus his dexterity.
Okay, yeah, like he shoots it, and then the thing sails past him, and he's like...
He got a 3, dude.
Okay, let's see. 12.
You knock the pike guard captain prone, as well as... Let me see. So the villager right here behind him and the pike guard captain have both dropped to the ground prone. They cannot move on their next turns. It is now Siobhan's turn.
So she's gonna put herself there.
Just barrels through those 2 villagers. Just like, ah!
So I'm just gonna hit this guy to the south as I barrel past him. That's 22 even without my advantage, which is now back on.
Go ahead and describe how you killed that villager.
As I'm like running through them, I'm like swinging my sword out, seeing what I can catch, and I caught that guy.
And like as you're swinging his sword, he sees you coming and he's like, please take whatever you want, but spare them. Ah! It is now the dwarf's turn. So all these dwarves make it out. Everyone else gets right up on the edge here, except for this pike guard, who's going to stand up against you. The Cleric of Midwinter moves up to here. These 3 giants have just simply walked around this house and are now standing here watching this happen and watching what the 3 of you will do. And it is now Shayla's turn.
Shaela. She's gonna take one last hit, try to hit the Cleric of Midwinter as she runs.
Natty 20.
Shaela is intoxicated with that hit. So she is going to do the same thing she did last time. She's going to frenzy.
Okay, 9.
All right, so she's going to try to hit a villager or 2 if she can. Nope.
Okay, as she's rusting. Hey, that's
Damn.
that's the risk of frenzy. That's the risk of frenzy.
Yeah.
So then now it is Skogul's turn.
Yeah, so now from his position here, he sees Siobhan is about to be ganged up on. If I shoot someone that's prone, is there an advantage on that since they're down, or how does that
I would
work?
let you roll an advantage on shooting a prone person.
All right, so he'll shoot the pike guard. He's gonna make sure Hunter's Mark is on him, and
That is a hit.
20. Okay, and then he's gonna roll damage plus 1d6, and then he's gonna do a frost chill as well.
Okay.
So 6 to 8, and then frost chills another d6, which is in 6. So we have a total of 14.
14, so he's down to 62.
Okay, and then he sees his aunt is there with the other giants, and he can tell that they're not like moving forward, but he's going to kind of move out of the hills a little bit and begin like creating a wall on this side.
Okay, Siobhan, it is your turn.
She's going to pivot around Pike Guard to keep this villager from being able to flee. Hopefully. It's an 18.
That's a hit.
And that's a dead.
Please describe how you killed that villager.
I mean, she's just still raking her sword, and she catches him right in the back.
And with that, it is the dwarves' turn. And these last remaining dwarves flee off into the mountains, or the mines. This villager, too, flees off into the mines. This cleric of Midwinter rushes forward 5, 25. And as he gets here, the pike guard says, "Go with the villagers. They'll need you. I've got this. I'll hold her back." And she cuts north to try to follow after the villagers. And as that happens, the pike guard captain gets his 15 feet down. So then this final pike guard attacks Siobhan at disadvantage. 7, missing. It is now Shayla's turn.
Shaela is still following after the cleric, so she's gonna run and then shoot again. 18!
That is very much a hit.
Okay. I want to hit her, and then I want to do the frost chill too. So damage is 7, and then 1d6. 6!
Hell yeah.
And she is Hunter's Marked
Oh,
as
shit.
well. Another 6!
That's
Wow.
19 damage.
12. Yeah.
That's
Hell
19
yeah.
damage. Ah! Takes the arrow into the back. She like kind of just rounds the corner there. And it is now Skogul's turn.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. Skogul's just gonna keep throwing little longbows into our pike guard here. Oh shit.
Wow. Natural 20.
I think realizing how much they failed and seeing his sisters both drawing blood, he feels like a connection to them. And seeing that they're all on the same plane, he feels this triplet trifecta happening. And watching the success that they just had redoubles his vigor. And he feels like maybe we are just better when we're all together. And that arrow that he looses seems to sing and punctures this guard captain, who just really won't let up. Yeah, no frenzy. I'm definitely going to do crit damage on him. So we're going to do 13 plus the 1d6.
Okay,
and we're going to get, that's too
14,
bad.
so 28 damage.
Okay, and then from here, Skogul is going to move. Yeah, he'll just head back in the hills. And that's it.
It is now Siobhan's turn.
Alright, so seeing that there are no more villagers to slaughter, she's gonna turn her rage onto this pike guard that's just seems to want to hang out. 21.
That is very much a hit.
Only 5 damage though.
So the pike guard captain shouts at Skogul and he goes, "You're a coward! You're a coward!" And then he turns and runs over to go help the pike guard try to kill Siobhan, so the cleric of Midwinter can escape, which she does. So then pike guard is going to attack Siobhan. "I give my blood for my people!" And he swings his pike at you. Missing with an 8. It is now Shayla's turn.
Shit. So Shayla's gonna run. She's just getting closer to her siblings. And she's going to move, I guess, her hunter's mark to this guy since her quarry has fled. And once again, try to longbow him because she learned her lesson on her dagger and she needs to bury that somewhere out in the middle of fucking nowhere because
Okay.
fuck that shit. 13.
And that was the Pike Garden?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Well, no worries. It just sails right past him, but at least Siobhan knows she's here for her.
And with that, it is Skogul's turn.
So that guy's back is towards me now? And is there any advantage that we get on rear strikes like
I
that?
would allow an advantage.
All right, so Hunter's Mark popped, and okay,
That is,
24.
that is very much a hit.
So he sees the arrow slam into the guy's back, and he rolls for damage, 10. And that's my turn.
Which means it is now Siobhan's turn.
All right, so Siobhan does take note by seeing Shayla's arrow sail past, and she's going to take another strike at this pike guard. 19.
That is very much a hit.
13.
He is down to 12.
Wow, they have a lot of fucking HP.
And it is the dwarves' turn as the pike guard captain uses his speed to get right up on Siobhan, and he looks at the pike guard as he swings. He says, Telemaeus, go with the others, flee. And then the pike guard says, I can't leave you, father. And he goes, Telemaeus, I'm telling you, leave. And he just like pivots around Siobhan and strikes and pushes the pike guard out into disengage and says, do this for your family. And the pike guard turns and flees, with a tear streaming down his face as the last man standing some fucking how is the pike guard captain, who, face to face with Siobhan, is going to attack. He's going to do a multi-attack on Siobhan because he must. There's no other option. He's the only one left, and he's dying here. He knows that. So he's going to try to kill you too. 19, that's a hit. 12, that's a miss. So that's going to be 21 halved. So that's going to be 11 damage to Siobhan.
All right.
I believe you are at 1 hit point, correct?
Yeah.
Shaela, it is your turn.
Okay, she's moving her hunter's mark and she's taking aim and she's firing again.
That is a miss as the arrow strikes
She's
off the
gonna-
armor of the pike guard captain.
She's gonna move closer.
And Vigal and Lef both step forward, and Skalva puts her hands out and stops him. She did not follow my orders. If she dies today, it is Panthus' doing. And they both stop. Skogul.
Oh man, Skogul saw his aunt do that, and he is not liking it. He's going to sprint forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. He just shouts, Siobhan! And then he looses an arrow at this fucking asshole. Come on, buddy. All right, good.
That's a hit.
12, so he's halved, right? He's 20.
No,
20
no,
I
Steve.
mean, he's,
No, Steve. He had 12.
oh,
Please
Oh.
describe how Skogul kills the pike guard captain to save his sister's life.
once he sees his aunt stop, the only people that he knows could clear that distance and just pop this little guy's head. There's kind of a sense of unbridled rage in him as he holds the bow up and looses this last arrow into the pike guard captain's neck. As the guy's trying to swing something, you see his neck just go aloft, and then he goes.
And as that's happening, simultaneous, Siobhan sees his pike coming up towards her neck, and she closes her eyes, waiting for the blow, and then hears that. And when she opens them, she sees that Skogul's arrow has just pierced through the man's neck as he drops to the ground, slumping and gurgling blood into the snow, face forward. You all watch.
Oh, that couldn't have been more poetic.
As the final dwarf's blood sinks into the snow, draining crimson around Siobhan's feet. Skalva walks forward, motioning Shaela and Skogul to come in. She looks at all three of you, blood soaking everyone. She says, "Speak now, children, and be judged by the Prime Father. Have you purified yourselves this day, or do you still cling to the small folk weakness in your hearts?"
Skogul definitely doesn't feel cleansed. He feels like this was a setup for some reason. To him, nothing going in a divine way, feeling like this was a divine right. He didn't feel any of that. And just remembering what his aunt did to not save his sister is making him question kind of everything right now. He's keeping his head stern, and he's really not letting this go, but he's kind of like really looking at his sisters with a sense of quiet compassion, being like, I don't think this was right.
I think Shaela does feel like, even though she wasn't able to kill the cleric, she felt incredibly connected to Panthus during that. And two, she saw the cleric's like connection to her own divinity. Like, yeah, they didn't stop all of the villagers from getting away, but they all survived. They all made it. She didn't see what Skogul saw. She was still focused on trying to hit him with her arrows. So I think she's feeling confident in their place as chosen by Panthus, at least her own.
Siobhan still got those light up drugs coursing through her system, and she looks at her sister and her brother, both burning with intense radiation, and she looks at Skalva, and she doesn't see that on Skalva.
Ooh.
She says to Skalva,
That's crazy.
"I am the divine. I decide what needs to be cleansed from me, and it's not the small blood. It's you."
Okay. And as she says that, Skalva, without hesitation, backhands you as hard as she can into the ground. That's a hit. And she does 27 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god.
Brought down to 13, which means that she is not killed outright, but you do need to make another death save. As Skalva looks down at your sister and says, "I see clearly now that weakness is rooted to your core. You wear defiance like a cloak. Remember this moment, Siobhan. Remember that you are only allowed to stand if your siblings carry you out of here. It is because they have proven their strength that I don't kill you now. The whip will wait patiently in my cabin for our return, because clearly once again, it is only pain that will teach you what pride cannot." And she turns away from you and says, "Come, children, do with her what you will, for we are the frost on the wind and there is fire in the dark, with so much hard work yet to do." And Leif and Vigal fall into step behind her, like drones following their queen. Skogul and Shaela, your sister is dying at your feet. What do you do?
Cure
And
wounds.
Skogul is going to look at Shaela as Siobhan's laying there, like bleeding out from this backhand that could kill someone. And he's got this like burning coals in his eyes, not believing that someone who takes care of them should ever treat them like that.
I think Shayla's moment of realizing Panthus was here for me tonight, and then Siobhan saying, "We," like she's the chosen, and Skogul being the one to end the fight, and watching Skalva just so callously. Siobhan's last words are just rattling around in her head. Like that's all she's thinking. She's just hearing that over and over again as she reaches out to try to give her a little bit of a boost.
And I think we're probably all huddled, like hunched and huddled, with our faces pretty close to each other. And as Skogul writes her, he goes, "I don't think you were too hot at all. She would have let you die."
She's a dark spot for us. And she looks at Shaela, like deep in her eyes, and she says, "I see it now. We are the chosen, but Skalva is not our way."
Shayla looks at Siobhan, and then she kind of looks at Skalva's retreating form and looks back, meets the eyes of both of her siblings, and just nods. And then she looks over at Skogul and she says, "Is this the clarity that you sought?"
He gets chills, even for a frost giant. I think it is. It's definitely going to be them or her.
If they go.
Where else do they have to go right now with such a wounded sibling? Is there anywhere else you could go? You have nothing.
If we keep hanging out with her, she's going to get us killed. And if that means she has to die, I think that's something he's willing to broach.
It seems like we won't be free of her until we free ourselves of her.
But is that worth betraying your mother's prophecy of returning magic to this land? Are you more important than the soul of this place?
I mean, the simple fact that Siobhan was able to see something in this moment that drew a clarity of her own divinity, that seems like something I'd be willing to hang my hat on more than what Skalva's saying. So in a way, what if the divine right is sundering from the sundering Wildstone, you know?
Did the prophecy say anything about Skalva?
Exactly.
It did not. To be clear, do you follow after them into the shadows of the Spine of Silence?
I mean, I definitely don't feel another choice, and I don't think we're prepared for the wilds in our state. Although, weirdly, Skogul didn't take a single hit point of damage. He knows that having a sick and injured person is not a good way to survive. He goes, I think we have no choice but to follow. Clearly, a rift is forming, but I don't know, man. They're giants. They would hunt us down so easily. And you've been brought back from the brink of death twice. He doesn't want to risk your life for the sake of a feeling of being hurt emotionally during this Reave. You know, it's like the enemy you know is better than the enemy that you can't get away from. So he hefts her up with Shaela's help, and he goes, if it's our divine right, we have to be alive to make it there, don't we?
As they start limping back behind them, Siobhan is like, we'll have to be smart about this.
Panthus is with us.
To be continued in the finale of Interlude 2, Split the Sky.
That's crazy.
That was good.
This seems like it is the catalyst for something very significant.
Yeah,
that's the best way to put that.
That was wild. That was crazy. We had 3 natural 20s. The guard captain was the last guy alive. Skogul got the last kill. Siobhan almost died twice.
She killed so many people,
many people. You got 10 kills.
Siobhan definitely had the most.
Yeah. There was, I think it was like 86 dwarves, and you guys got wiped out a quarter of this village. Which is crazy, because I was like, they could kill anybody between 1 and 80. I don't know how many people are going to die today. So right, I do like that you guys didn't just wipe out an entire village. I think 20 is a pretty solid Reave amount.